We now return you to our regular feature.
John Howard, do you think the Bush administration wants to go to war with Iraq?
I have not spoken to a president in recent days who wants to go to war. I have spoken to someone who would love to see a peaceful diplomatic solution to all of this.
Which president exactly have you been speaking to?
Oh, the president, the president.
Not the president of the United States, surely.
Yeah, well, no, it's the president of AWAG. They're the Anti-Iraqi War Action Group.
Oh, right, and where are they from?
Iraq, I think. Maybe Pakistan. We're looking into it.
How do you respond to allegations that you're just a puppet for the American government?
Well, that's just ridiculous. I mean, mind if I take this one, Johnny? Not at all, Big Daddy. George. Son, are you suggesting that our allies are just parroting the U.S.?
Well...
Parroting the U.S.? Parroting the U.S.? That's just preposterous. We're not going to just click our heels and... stop it, Alexander.
But I thought we were supposed to click our heels. You said click your heels, didn't you, Philip? Well, I wouldn't presume to...
Shut up, the both of you. We can stand on our own 2 feet. We're not afraid of American trade sanctions or farming subsidies. Now settle down there a little, buddy.
I appreciate preservation. It's what you do when you run for president. You gotta preserve.
I'm sick and tired of hearing things from uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded people.
Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? I don't have the slightest idea what I'm saying. How about this for foreign policy vision?
Desperate to escape the tyranny of a Middle Eastern dictator, or just tired of the third world and craving a day in the sun, Leaky Boat Tours promises the best Australia has to offer with its Woomera Getaway Package and Pacific Solutions. Experience the simmering heat of the South Australian desert in this 21st century prison-style resort and enjoy the delights of the desert sun glinting off razor wire. These views aren't just breathtaking, they're bloodletting. Woomera, your day in the sun. There's never a dull moment at Woomera with fun activities for the whole family to enjoy. Cool off with our federally funded water cannons and slippery slide. Sign up for team rioting or enrol in one of our sewing classes, including cross and lip stitch, or slip into a long, brain-bending game of depression Scrabble, or gamble your protection visa in the waiting game. Who knows, you could win an all-expenses-paid trip on an Australian Navy people mover and spend endless hours kicking back on an abandoned phosphate mine on the sinking island of Nauru, voted most popular destination by refugees without a choice. Woomera, the place to wait, and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait. Mr. Bush, why does the US
Just let
feel...
me preempt you there by saying Saddam Hussein is a madman. He poisons and rapes his own people and he needs to be stopped.
Okay, Mr. Bush, I was just...
I know where you're going with this, but reasonable people understand that this man is unreasonable. That's you and reasonable.
Mr. Bush, please...
Don't even think of attacking me there, fella. I know what you're thinking, and I'm going to nip it in the bud before you can get me with your dirty questions or any other weapons of mass media.
But, Mr. Bush, you're not giving me a chance...
Yes, I am. I've given you plenty of chances, and you've proven time and time again that you cannot be trusted. And it is because of that I'm willing to engage in preemption. You might call it anticipatory self-defense.
But I wasn't attacking you. I hadn't even asked about Iraq.
But you were going to. It's the same old rhetoric. Here are my questions. Inspect them all you like. But I get in here and it's Iraq this and Iraq that.
The Iraq this and Iraq that's come from you. I hadn't asked about Iraq.
You were going to.
No, I was going to ask why the US refuses to sign off on the Kyoto Treaty.
Oh, really? My intelligence sources have informed me otherwise.
Well, they're wrong. And if that's the case, couldn't they also be mistaken on the question of Iraq's supposed weapons of mass destruction?
No way. Iraq is crawling with them. Weapons and Iraqis. Listen, son, we don't know who they are, but we know they're out there. We apologise for this break in our transmission. We will return you to our regular feature as soon as possible.
And wait, and wait, and wait, and wait.
Let's get ready to rumble! Al-Qaeda Productions, in association with the Palestinian Authority, presents Suicide Bomber. Next Saturday night, our most favored sons of Allah will blast their way to paradise and send the infidels to hell. Head to the West Bank for the thrills and spills of a deadly suicide attack as these poorly trained soldiers of God prepare to detonate live on the streets of Gaza. No settlement is safe from suicide bomber. Cheer crazy man Ahmed as he brings the roof down on a popular night spot. Gasp as Ho Khabib sends a crowded bus sky high. Scream as Mad Dog Mullah blows his own legs off. Fatwas come and fatwas go, but when these guys declare jihad, there is no stopping them. Suicide bomber! They want to strike the infidel. They dream of pleasing Allah. They will make an impact. Don't miss this peace-shattering free-for-all. Suicide bomber!
Tickets on sale from PLO outlets and all good news agencies.
Next week on Al Jazeera Sports, Incursion, Israel's Revenge. Are you tired of planes crashing into your place of business? Sick of nasty Arabs trying to place dirty bombs in your backyard? Well, now, with Arab Away, you can get rid of those pesky extremists forever. Developed by American President George W. Bush and forcefully endorsed by our very own government intelligence agencies, Arab Away promises to get rid of every oil-grabbing, money-hungry, freedom-hating son of Allah from here to the Holy Rapture. Let's say Osama bin Laden has just raided your freedom-fighting weapons cache and blown up your cat. What do? Simply use Arab Away following the easy-to-misunderstand instructions, then sit back in your bunker, put your feet up, and wait as nothing happens. Arab Away. Make sure you get yours today. They will.
Always spun away from face. Does not discriminate between Arabs and non-Arabs. Bunker sold separately. Not endorsed by the UN.
We now return you to our regular feature.
But Saddam says he has no weapons of mass destruction.
He's a liar.
How can you be so sure?
We have spy satellite pictures of him with his pants on fire, as well as Mrs. Hussein with her burqa off, but that ain't pretty. Besides, it's classified.
Look, what concrete evidence does US intelligence have of weapons of mass destruction?
We have loads of evidence from a range of sources, some real, some imaginary, some yet to be discovered. It's all there.
Hang on a minute, what do you mean by yet to be discovered evidence?
Look, the information speaks for itself. I have already told you what that information is, and that is all I'm prepared to say about that. Besides, all you have to do is look to his record. I mean, the man tried to kill my dad. Actually tried to kill him. Dead. Besides, you know they have factories in Iraq?
What kind of factories?
All kinds of factories.
Shoe factories?
Terrorists wear shoes.
Carpet factories?
You've heard of carpet bombing? Hey, Ahmed, did you hear about Saddam?
No, what about him?
Mate, Centrelink busted him with some weapons of mass destruction, and now the Americans are going to bomb the shit out of him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a good thing you declared that weapons-grade uranium.
Yeah, good thing.
Support the system that supports you. Don't get caught out with your undeclared weapons of mass destruction.
Hello, Centrelink? I just wanted to inquire about changing my details. And wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. Al-Qaeda Productions, in association with the Palestinian Authority, are giving you this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to prepare for a career in suicide bombing at the elite level. Be the best you can be. Maim yourself and others. Get it right the first time and open the door to paradise. Come, see a bleak future in a bright world. Learn how to make an impact and leave a lasting impression. Study basic 20th century American architecture and Israeli public transport systems. Be the best you can be. Be a suicide bomber.
Can I be a suicide bomber too, Daddy?
Of course you can, son. Of course you can. So, Mr. Bush, is there any new evidence that Saddam Hussein is lying about weapons of mass destruction?
Well, it's all a big puzzle. You combine the undiscovered evidence, the recent old footage, the fact that his pants are off and on fire, and you join the dots, which our experts are doing as we speak.
Oh, and what have they come up with?
Well, there's a coloring book, and this picture.
Looks like a unicorn.
It's upside down, Mr. George. Upside down. Thank you, Special Agent Squiggle. There, that's better.
I really don't see anything.
Well, you do have to use your imagination, and the undiscovered evidence, of course.
If that's all you've got, why are you and Donald Rumsfeld holding so many press conferences?
To demonize... Oh, no, wait, hang on a minute. What does that say?
It says demystify.
To demystify the situation.
You said in your address to the United Nations that the international community was in danger of becoming irrelevant if it allowed Iraq
Unrelevant. That's UN relevant.
Right. Anyway, if the UN is in danger of becoming unrelevant by allowing Iraq to ignore its resolutions, wouldn't you simply be making matters worse by going it alone with unilateral military action?
No, that's UN lateral. As in lateral thinking. As in, they're going to get us, so let's get them first type of thinking. It's an anti-get-it-back-in strategy, so to speak.
All-out war against Saddam is hardly lateral thinking, Mr. Bush.
Well, you've got to admit it's out there.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Pro-aggressive defensive reaction. Or is it aggressive pro-defensive reaction? Whatever the hell it is, I think it's a good idea.
Someone fighting.
I'm going to shoot the shit out of them Arabs.